What's up, guys? I often have this question in the comments under my videos. Could we have Scott Adkins as the next James Bond? And I must admit that I had also that idea a few times. Adkins is a wonderful actor, and he deserves more recognition than he actually gets. He has already played a large number of different characters in various stories.
Mr.
Bond. James Bond.
Scott Adkins as the next James Bond? It's an intriguing idea and could bring a fresh, dynamic energy to the iconic role. Adkins is best known for his work in action films, especially in martial arts-heavy roles like in the Undisputed series, Boyka Undisputed, The Expendables 2, and Accident Man. His skills as a martial artist and his ability to perform impressive fight choreography make him a strong candidate if the Bond franchise wanted to push the action to a more physically demanding and dynamic level. Here are some reasons why Adkins could work as James Bond. 1. Physicality and combat skills. Bond has always had to be in top physical shape, and Scott Adkins is certainly one of the best martial artists and fight performers in the business. His agility and ability to perform complex stunts and fight sequences would align well with the intense physical demands that a modern Bond film would likely require. Plus, Bond has always been seen as an expert in hand-to-hand combat, and Adkins could easily bring that aspect to life in a way that stands out from previous incarnations. 2. Charisma and presence. While Adkins might not have the same suave, debonair presence as past Bonds like Sean Connery or Daniel Craig, he does possess a level of intensity and gravitas that could give the character an interesting edge. Bond doesn't have to be just a smooth operator. With a grittier and more physical portrayal, Adkins could offer a more aggressive, no-nonsense Bond, which would be refreshing for fans who are used to the more polished, traditional interpretations.
Name's Bond. James Bond.
Bond. James Bond. My name is Bond. James Bond.
3. Action star legacy. Adkins' reputation as a top-tier action star is well established, and if the Bond franchise wanted to highlight the action more, especially in an era where blockbuster action films are big, like the Mission Impossible or John Wick franchises, Adkins would be a solid choice. His expertise in stunt work and fight choreography could elevate the series' action sequences and make them feel even more raw and realistic. Before we go a bit further into this analyze, please let us know in the comments below this video, why do you think that Scott Adkins should be the next James Bond? Or maybe you think he is not suited for the job? Let's watch the next factors that can determine if Scott can fulfill the role of James Bond. At the end of this video, we give some hints as to how Scott can adapt and overcome any criticism, if there is so. Let's continue. 4. Age and longevity. Scott Adkins is in his late 40s, born in 1976, which is a good age range for Bond, as it offers the maturity and experience that the character needs. Daniel Craig, for example, played Bond from his early 40s to his early 50s, and Adkins could easily take on a similar trajectory, playing Bond for a number of films and bringing a slightly older but still highly capable version of the character. 5. Potential for a new interpretation. In recent years, Bond has evolved, both in the types of stories told and in how the character is portrayed. With Daniel Craig's Bond being a more vulnerable human character compared to earlier versions, Adkins could offer a more intense, physically imposing portrayal. He could bring a different edge to the character, maybe with a sharper, more aggressive approach to Bond's combat skills and emotional complexities. Possible concerns: suavity and charm. One of the hallmarks of Bond has always been his charm, wit, and ability to seduce and manipulate situations to his advantage. Adkins isn't known for his charisma in the traditional sense, so while he has presence, the suave, sophisticated side of Bond would likely need to be developed more in his portrayal.
James Bond. James Bond.
Typecasting. Adkins is most famous for playing tough guys in action films. If the filmmakers wanted to explore a more nuanced Bond, someone who balances action with more subtle, cerebral elements, they might face challenges in having Adkins break away from his typical roles. The Bond formula. The public perception of Bond has always been a balance between action, espionage, and suave elegance.
Mr.
Bond. James Bond.
A shift toward an all-out action hero might alienate some longtime Bond fans who love the mix of sophistication and suspense that has defined the character over the decades. Conclusion. Could Scott Adkins be the next James Bond? He definitely has the skills and the physical presence to pull off a more action-oriented Bond, and in an era where there's a lot of interest in reimagining classic characters for modern times, his take on the role could be unique and exciting. However, whether he can fully embody the suave, multi-dimensional essence of Bond as the franchise has come to expect would be the big question. It would require the right script, direction, and perhaps even a bit of reinvention of the character to balance both his action chops and the more charismatic spy thriller aspects of Bond. It's a risk, but in the world of James Bond, risks often lead to new and exciting reinventions.
My real name is Bond. James Bond, you mistake me.
Let me know what you guys think about the chances of Scott Adkins as a new Bond character. You think he has the qualities for the role? You think he could be directed into the character? Write your ideas in the comment section down below this video. I hope you found this video somehow interesting. If you like the idea of Scott Adkins being the next James Bond, please share this video with all your friends so that the chance of having Adkins in the next Bond movie can be noticed, and so we bring more attention to the public and the right persons in the movie business. Let's make it happen. Thanks for watching and have a wonderful day.